Yo, let's talk about ranked real quick, guys, because we do have ranked coming out. I really believe Bungie's got that on their radar, and they not just on the radar, they got it in the works right now. They're going to be introducing it, and my projection on that is like 2.5 months. 2.5 months to 3 months from now, I think they're going to be throwing in ranked. And it also really depends on how the sandbox update is going to be received in terms of the new meta. But let me go ahead and say this. I know they're going to be introducing some stuff to the new meta, and they're going to be going about it that way. I don't really know how much that's going to fix it, because at the end of the day, the way we got things now is a lot of people tend to play extremely passively in this game. Now, how do we fix people playing passive? How did you fix it in Destiny 1? Because Destiny 1, you can say whatever you want to say about it, man, but if you were not an aggressive player in D1, you're not going to last, man. I saw so many people that had good stats in D1, but the moment you got them in an objective game type, say such as trials or even just control or anything that objectively pushes you to a location versus staying in the back of the map and just trying to pick kills and trying to keep that KD up, they got fucking wrecked, dude. And so there was one thing I loved about D1 is it pushed you to be more of an aggressive player. And I am an aggressive player. I know some of you guys are probably aggressive in nature as well. And so in order for us to cure this passive bullshit, I really only foresee two options. Option number one, which is something that would still be the easier of the two options, which is allow for the time to kill to be faster. Currently right now, time to kill is pretty much all 1 second plus, around 1 second to 1.2 to 1.3, and then even extended past that to 1.4. Here's the thing though, time to kill, the reason why making it faster would cure some of these issues is, say you push in on a group of enemies. If you were quick enough and getting those shots off on a number of them, you can get a team wipe. That was something that you were allowed to do in Destiny 1. It wasn't even easy in D1, because I know a lot of people think that, wow, Destiny 1, I was able to go in there and wipe the whole team, but there was a lot of things at your disposal. You had abilities, you had special, and you had a primary with a good time to kill. Now, in this game, you know, you don't have all of those things at your hand. Abilities don't hit as hard. You don't have a shotgun or sniper readily available unless you pick up power, and your primary also has a poopy time to kill. Now, this would rely purely on your ability to get in there and land precision shots, because as of right now, the way the PvP system works in this game, the strategy for me is get a kill, maybe two, and then stop. Just completely stop. Go ahead and get your health back, get your recovery back, and kind of just peek around the corner just a little bit to get a couple shots off. I know some of my videos may look like I'm being aggressive, but in terms of Destiny 1's aggressiveness, there is no comparison. D1 allowed you to be super aggressive. If you watch Sweat players, man, they were super aggressive. And I'm not saying that D2 is not going to allow some aggressive activity to be performed in Crucible. I'm just stating the fact that it is much more dialed back than what we saw in Destiny 1. And one way to fix that, which would not require an overhaul of our game, is simply increasing the time to kill. Now, I know time to kill would not fix everything, because you're going to ask yourself, well, what about mono multi-tool? What about scouts and people playing far off? All they're going to do is this is going to allow them to sit in their corridors and sit and be even more passive, and they can even land their kills even quicker. I get it. I see the concern there, and I know it's not a fix-all system. Again, that option is the easiest of the two options, which brings us to option number two. Option two really is going to require a complete overhaul, which is the main reason why I put out a few weeks ago delaying the Osiris DLC, because I feel like if we didn't include this option, a lot of players would walk away. Now, currently right now, people have been hit with the whole Masterwork update coming out for our weapons, and people are kind of buying into that. And I'm not saying that it's terrible, but I'm also not going to say it's good. It's okay. It is somewhat a nibble in the right direction, but it is not just something that's going to fucking save us. Option number two is to bring back Destiny 1's weapon system. Primary, special, heavy. Bring those things back and allow that to be the weapon system for Destiny 2. Despite the time to kills being what it is, if you had a sniper around the corner waiting for you to peek out with your little bitty minded multi-tool, you would be less inclined, especially pushing your head out whenever you've got a good player there in front of you, you would be less inclined to be playing as passive and in the same spot as you've been. The thing about special that was so good is that it rewarded players to be much more aggressive and much more precise. And this is not even from a PvE perspective, because I know Slayer's put out a video yesterday and he was really focused on my PvE, and I agreed with everything he had to say about it. And if you want to go check his video on it, he even talked about this. I'm just meaning it from a PvP perspective. It really allowed, because a lot of matches I get into, even now, the moment the other team starts losing even a little bit, man, they huddle up, they get together, and they sit in their spawn. Now, the terrible thing about pushing those guys in their spawn is the moment you kill one, it only takes a few seconds before he spawns. And a lot of times, he will spawn right there behind his friends. And so, it's really just pointless to even push and get the team wiped. It's actually more advantageous to sit there and play the peak game and get a couple shots in and maybe get a kill, and then just pull out, let the guy spawn, and hopefully you'll bait him out of that situation or that spawn. Now again, if you've got a team that can overwhelmingly, collapse on them and beat them out because you all are individually better than them, yes, but this is from a one-to-one ratio, a skill-to-skill ratio. If you are just as good as they, but they decide to play pussy tactics, which often happens in trials. I see people win in trials that aren't necessarily better players, they just play pussy tactics. That's what's going to happen. Special weapons allows people to not play like such a pussy. I mean, it really does. It allows me to go, hey, I see 4 guys right there. I'm about to push in with this shotty right now and maybe get a kill or 2 off. I get a kill or 2 off. Hey, that's enough for the rest of my team to collapse, and we can go from there. Or, hey, I got a guy sitting back there, him and his buddy. They've been jerking each other off this entire fucking match. They've been sitting there with my multi-tools. Instead of me sitting there trying to come up against them every single time with whatever weapon I got, I'm just going to peek out and get a fucking snipe off. And you can say, wait a minute, power ammo already does that. You can just go pick up power, right? Most of the times, if a guy's smart, and both of them are smart, they'll sit there and camp out on a power ammo slot. So you'll never be able to fucking push that bitch. So listen, I'm just trying to say these are 2 options, one of which is a very easy, minute option that really won't fix everything, but it's a start. The other option is just to introduce the old weapon system, which I would prefer. It's drastic. Some of you are gonna fucking hate it. Whatever. I'm just saying that it would work. It worked for Destiny 1, okay? And especially with the special ammo changes that occurred. And a lot of people were against the special ammo economy change that happened last January. Honestly, it was a great thing for PvP. It allowed for not as much spammage of specials. Not many people had to be constantly pushing with just a shotgun only to get a kill. There was a lot of times that special was utilized the way it was supposed to be utilized, and it wasn't something that was taking up all the kills in the feed. So guys, that's my thoughts on it, man. Those are the 2 options that I feel really comfortable with, and I would be up for those changes. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Again, this is just a communication video, man. Don't take it to heart. Fucking people act like a step on their puppy whenever I say something around this joint. Fellas, thank you so much for coming and watching. I'll catch y'all later.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
How long are you staying for?
I'll be in the bar for the rest of the week.